if I can't hear him.
Okay.
If
I'll go
you're
ahead and
talking,
turn on the recorder.
this is
here.
Dave.
I assume the other county commissioners en route.
so this is Dave. I can hear you sometimes. You bounce in and out. And Commissioner DeGroot said he was driving up there, so I expect him to be there anytime.
I gotta go back up right through the record.
Wait, you heard us already, so.
I did, but it was before the meeting was.
Right. We've got another video too. Wait, we've got
The commissioners may,
Derek DeGroot.
Okay,
so they may not be here in person.
you may not be here in person, but they'll be there on the machine.
As of right now, yes.
Okay. We got two commissioners as clarification.
Hey, Derek, can you hear us?
I can.
But I can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, there's Dave too.
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
You need to put
I-
the audio on.
I assume
Allow
more
audio.
speakers. are
Derek
on.
is unmuted and I can't hear him, but I should be able to see.
How about now? I can hear you, so you should be able to hear me.
Derek's talking. Derek, you
Dave,
I can
can
hear
you
you, Derek.
And I don't know if
Yeah, I
from my
can
side,
hear you,
Derek, or
Derek. but you can't
yours.
hear us.
I
Okay,
can't
so
hear Dave either, so.
it's the speakers on their end then.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thanks, Andrea.
We'll pause the meeting before we start the meeting so we can resolve technical difficulties if possible.
Okay, so they may not be here.
We may not be here in person, but they'll be there.
Which one is this? This is
4 or 7. It's yeah, they're
4 or 7.
yeah.
We have a waiting room.
Oh, you're trying to get, okay, I see it. Okay. I'm thinking. Well,
Yeah.
you did put an ad in the paper for. Board members.
Yes,
I thought it
yeah, I've done board members, at least 2 times in the Herald and News and a couple of times on the Telegram email news. And I think we've spent about $249 or something on board member advertising. Yeah,
We can hear you, so they must be muted somehow, or maybe to join audio.
But I can't hear you is the problem.
I know
Try
that.
talking. Did you talk to me in there?
Have you joined audio?
Yeah,
They have.
I think so. I think it's my speakers or something is not working right. But it all. He lives kind of close to you, on the lakes, across the road. Oh. Hey, Derek, can you try that again?
How about now? Can you hear me?
Thanks, Derek.
Not a
We
problem. Thank you.
both commissioners.
We have
this.
Dave Hensley, Root are both on. Huh?
Okay, in that case, then I'll go ahead and start the meeting with about 30 seconds.
The owl is muted. Technology.
What's the owl?
That's that machine there.
Oh, got it. Okay,
So
okay.
we're good whenever you're ready.
Let's see. To welcome the Klamath County Board of County Commissioner representatives with us this evening. our audience and all the board members who have attended. And we'll go ahead and start this meeting on March 22nd, 2023 at 6:33. We'll begin by a roll call, but since we're having the Board of County Commissioners, I assume that you would like to check in. So would we do a roll call from the Board of County Commissioners first?
Perfect. And I need to call our meeting to order too. So I will call to order the Board of Commissioners in our joint meeting with the Chilcoin Vector Control District. Present on the Zoom and in the meeting this morning or this evening, excuse me, myself, Commissioner Derek Groot. We also have Commissioner Dave Hensley. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to join you today, especially virtually. It does, our schedules have been absolutely packed. So this really was a convenience for us, and we thank you for making that available. And I will turn the meeting back over to you, Chair.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and begin with the roll call of trustees, and let's begin with Elliot, who's on the, as you're looking at him from the board on the far left side.
Elliot Fox, present.
Tim McDermott, present.
Jamie Brown.
He's still around even with the crutches, and Dennis Jeffco, chairman. We have a sufficient quorum to begin the meeting. So JP, would you please do the treasurer's report?
Certainly. It's good to be back. According to these numbers here, with the deposits and with some outstanding checks at the in our on-call bank checking account, we had $5,007.25. In the state LGIP money market account, $151,861.94 for a total of $156,869.19. Since the last meeting, there's been two deposits made, two transfers from the LGIP account. Well, actually three, and the total, two were made last month and one was made 2 days ago. Total of $10,000 was transferred into our accounts, which consequently will up that $5,000 number to approximately 12, but we have outstanding checks and then we have a large obligation to take care of tonight. There was $439.50 interest deposited to the state account, nothing from Klamath County. And we got a $150 refund from SDIS, our insurance carrier, for probably a longevity
Yes.
refund, which they charge us, we pay it. They refund us usually this amount of money every year. Any questions on that, on the plus side? Two bills to be paid. Our payment 4 of 7 under the contract with Three Rivers Mosquito and Vector Control for $6,700, and a reimbursement to the chairman for our munchies tonight of $90.25 for a total of $6,790.25. Any questions?
What was that total? So I'm putting that in this on screen.
The total $6,790.25.
Elliot, would you go ahead and make a motion to approve the treasurer's report in the expenditure of money?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and the bill paid and transfers of money.
No second.
Any discussion or questions? Oh, by the way, the Board of County Commissioners is always free to ask any questions during our meetings. And you're just like a part of our audience, so please feel free to participate if you choose to do so.
Well,
Thank you.
this is Dave. I'll just say I should have driven up there if I'd have known you guys were serving dinner. So I feel bad about that.
Well, we bought extra for you guys, thinking you're going to be here, but that's okay. The Mad Ventures will take care of it. Hearing no further discussion, we'll call for the question. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report and expenditures of funds, say aye, indicate.
Aye.
Unanimous, the motion has been passed. Now we'll go ahead and go on to our new business. Tim, would you give us a report on your trip to the American Mosquito Association meeting in Reno, Nevada?
Okay, very interesting and enlightening to me. I would like to thank Ed and Danta from Three Rivers Mosquito and Vector Control for taking good care of me and leading me through kind of a very interesting conference. I tried to attend the presentations that I thought would have some bearing on my board position. And I have to say, it's completely overwhelming to be in the room with evidently Florida and in Louisiana and other places have a lot of mosquitoes. And if a vector district in Florida has 4 helicopters and 8 airplanes, and I kind of feel like the little guy in the room. And also the people from vector districts, say like Los Angeles and other large areas, they have media relations people and just a lot of things that just way over my head. So I did attend the meetings that pertain to a board of trustees, ballot measures and funding, duties and responsibilities of manager, director, budgeting, financial management, which believe me, I mean, they have some big budget numbers there. It's like way over my head. So very interesting and informative. I did learn many important little things. One of them is that Culex is a type of a mosquito, and it's not an industrial chemical used to control them. I kept seeing at the exhibit hall Culex, and I'm going, oh, I used to be in the chemical business. That's got to be some, mosquito abatement product. Well, watch out for the Culex, they're mosquitoes. So I attended the ones for commissioners, and then I would like to support Ed and Danton. I attended their presentations and was kind of following along. It was very interesting, and anybody else gets the chance, I would encourage them to try to make the time to go and do it. Thank you, Ed and Danta.
It was fun.
Yep.
And it was busy. Early
Yeah.
mornings, late evenings.
And it's a long walk down the hall to the exhibit area.
Do you feel that the $1,500 that we spent on that was worth the money for your personal growth and education in mosquito control?
Well, gives me something to work toward. I've got a lot to learn. And these are professional people from all over the country and some from all over the world. And
There
it's
was 930 people that registered, and 890 something actually showed up.
with the weather and so on. So yeah, so it's a lot to keep learning there. And some of those districts are really big.
I thank you for your report then, and the chair is going to make a report on the state contractors and supply bidding training. I'm attending online a series of training episodes that last about an hour, in the hopes that when we have to do our contracting and bidding next year, that we can do a sole source vendor, which I think we qualify from everything that I've looked at. And what I'm learning is basically, as long as we follow the state procedure and to the letter on this, that all we have to do is post the notice of contractor on their sole source vendor, he's looking for the words, an apology. And as long as we do everything right, we completed all requirements by law. We don't have to do any local advertising and waste our money doing that. All we have to do is post a notice on the state's board. The problem is learning how to use this. And the only way you can go back and review their videos is you do have to go to the state, you register, and you can look at it online, but you can't transfer it to your own computer to look at it. It's the property of the state. So, and they promised, I asked the people in charge of it, and they say they're going to leave these videos online because there's so much to learn in one session about how to properly bid a sole source contractor. That's going to take me a while to learn this material, but we're going to be squared away so that by next year, when this becomes an issue in January of 2024, when we have to put out the bids, I should be sufficiently informed that we can legally and properly do a sole source vendor without any difficulty. But it is a complex involved, just their forms and understanding all of their codes takes some time to do it. But that's the chair's report on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Can all of us
Oh, absolutely.
look at that? I mean.
I think so, because I
Banner
can,
and-
yeah, guys, I'll just give you, we went, our codes, and you guys can all participate and look at it. What they're doing, they just started doing this, and they're posting their seminars online on the state webpage for this. It's like a state contractor that's doing this, so we have to go to the contractor's thing, but I'll provide my codes, and y'all can enjoy yourselves on this, and we should, although we should.
I would think, yeah, you know, some of us got nothing to do for a few weeks.
We can also get you registered for the next one, which is coming up this Tuesday. I think it is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'll call you and give you the
Okay.
information.
What
And it's
there?
simple to register, and once you get registered, then you're entitled to look at their videos. That's their only qualifiers. You have to be registered online to do it.
How long are they? Hours?
1 hour, about an hour. What they're doing is doing it over people's lunch breaks or whatever, or breaks. And so they're all designed to be about an hour in length. So it's not that bad to do it.
Yeah, is that accessible? I would think it would be
Oh, yeah. And
all of us, you know.
And once you register, the good thing is then you can go back and get the site and look at the videos, because there's no way any of us, at least I'm not going to get the information the first time around, because it is very complex. But we understand the process, we're good to go.
It's the government, they make it that way.
That's true. Yeah, normally they'll have up to like 150 to 200 participants, and they're all purchasing agents from around the state of Oregon, big districts, small districts, government, you know, that kind of thing.
So that's the crowd they're speaking to then, so. Yeah, there's a gap between, I'm sure, their level of expertise and our level of expertise that we need to ramp up to.
That's true. We're mice, but we need to have this information so that we legally and properly perform our duties as trustees in order to put out a sole source contract on this. So we should do that. Next, is there any further questions on that? Okay, continuing on. Next item attached to the agenda is the budget document that we will be putting out at the budget committee hearing. I put it out so that if anybody thinks there should be any changes in it, I'd rather do it now before we have a formal public hearing on it, and perfect it before we have a formal public hearing, as far as what the board members think in here about what the numbers should be. I know that when we look at the end count.
Hey, Dennis, tell me what page that's on, because I'm trying to show it to these guys at the same time.
Oh, okay, let's go to LB form 20. Okay. I'll pause for just a minute. Everybody goes to LB form 20.
Okay, we're there.
Okay, when we're at LB form 20 and we look at interest, this is driving us nuts. How do you predict something? Because when you look over line 4, what we've had for interest income, and then you go over proposed by budget officer $2,000, it being that we're getting more than $400 a month interest at this point, I'm probably way low. But I don't know how the economy's gonna go.
Or banks can do there.
You know, and, yeah, we could, add a couple of grand onto that number and be close. But unless people object to it, I want to discuss this thing in here. I just picked $2,000 as a number, because I know for sure we're gonna get that, but it could easily be $4,000 or $5,000 by the end of the year. I just don't know, guys. What's the opinion around the table? This is a discussion item.
I like it. I like that number, because you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow morning. When you turn on the news, what's happened with the banking industry. You know,
We only had $708 in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah,
So is that an extra 80,000 or $83,000 in this account? Is that what you're?
yeah, the 83,000 is we're eliminating our reserve fund and we transferred it over. So we're transferring in, and since we did a resolution in January about this to affect it, that we are no longer going to authorize it with the 10-year period on the funding on this thing, on this reserve fund, and we terminated that fund, and then we're transferring the $83,000 in to our reserve fund in the regular budget. This saves a lot of paperwork and will make budgeting much easier in the future.
Sure, but then, so I'm just getting to that the historical data. The interest received on historical data is based on an account that holds about $40,000, but now it'll be roughly 3 times that much. So
Yeah, but the
I would
account,
assume that $2,000 is,
yeah, the whole account,
yeah,
everything goes into the local government investment fund. That's where, what we've done, because of this board, it's had, you know, thefts in the past. We had the theft a couple of years ago where they cleaned out our whole banking account. We keep our money in the local government investment fund. And that $83,000 plus our current budget funds and everything is what we've been getting our money out of, because that's the only safe place we can park our money. I don't trust the banks anymore. I don't care if it's, you know, after our last secure round, it took us 120 days to resolve all of these issues, and what, another 6 months to get our accounts balanced after they were done messing around with us. And so we only keep about $5,000 or $6,000 over need in our checking account, so that if we're hit again, we're not going to lose $40,000 like we did before. At the most, we'll lose 5,000. I just don't trust the banks anymore. The state investment fund, there's so many procedures in there to safeguard our money. The only transfer in and out of an existing account that's been well established. They do the telephone thing where when you put in your codes, you still got to use your telephone. So the authentication is quite complex, and it's the only safe place. But anyhow, getting back to this, that interest has been coming off of amounts that vary between $113,000 and $160,000. And that's where the interest has been coming in. Now, this also, a little note here, we consistently underspend our funds about 10% a year, consistently for the last 10 years, 8 to 10, right around there. So that extra, the money not used in 1 year is going into the state investment fund, or held in. It's not going in, it's just held there. And that's one of the reasons we're having a really good growth in our financial resources. Plus, we're getting all of this interest money that's coming back into us. Does that explain?
Steve.
yeah, I think the $2,000 you have, based on what I'm reading here, I think it's conservative number.
Yeah, so we're all in favor. That was my biggest concern. And my next biggest concern is that if we go over to LB 31 and we look I'll pause for everybody to go to LP 31. Okay, and then we will look at items 1 through 14. You'll notice that in the historical historical data that we've bumped up some of these numbers. For instance, the DEQ permit will probably be close to like $990 next year. They keep getting higher all the time. And Edward's number we have fixed in by contract at 50,000, so we're good to go there. I think the other numbers in there are historically pretty much the same, but even though we have all of this inflation because we are not using money in these budget categories, I think we can stay the same. We can go over in our line item budgets, and we can never exceed our overall budget by more than, I think it's 5% or something like that. I can't remember if it's 5 or 10%. I think it's 5, yeah, I think it's 10%, $5,000, pardon me. There's two parts, it's either 10% or 5,000. So we're safe in there no matter what. Even if we were to say in office supplies go at $2,200, we're still safe because chances are we're not going to be using anything for attorney fees or anything like that. And that's one of the reasons why we have consistently had that 10% under usage going into the state. So as a last item on here, we go to the very end, and I think we put this in. The very last page in the budget I put in here is,
What's the title?
okay, the title is the profit and loss budget versus actual. Okay, and it should be the last page in the budget report.
With the 3/18/23 date on the top right?
Yeah, it's just the July 1, 22 to March 2, yeah, 38, yeah. It's basically showing how much we spent for the year. When we compare what we are spending and receiving this year versus last, we're in an excellent state of affairs on things. And again, we'll have be under budget by about 10%, I think, by the end of the fiscal year. Any questions on any of this?
I was just looking up regarding that $2,000 on interest income.
Mhm.
I was just looking up. A year or so ago, we were getting 1.5% on our money.
Right.
Here we are for this year, into February, 3.75%. So, right there tells the story of why. That's a good number.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like 35 or 40%, that $2,000 of what we're actually gonna, if things remain the same, we're over 2% more on the income side, on the interest side in our LGIP accounts.
Oh, yes, especially when you look at the budget report. Our budget for the year total was like 50, operating budget was 53,550. Money coming in on the income side, we're already 54,552, and we are more in
March.
Yeah, and we're gonna pick up a lot more from interest after that. So we are in excellent financial shape. Last thing I'd like to bring in as matter of discussion. Today I placed a legal ad in the Herald and News.
Oh, we have a certain page.
Yeah, this won't be in yours.
Okay.
It wasn't attached to the agenda. This is the last minute item, but for discussion. So everybody knows and can look for this. The public meeting, the budget committee has to be published twice within 30 days of the meeting. And Herald and News has set us up as of this evening that we'll be publishing on April 1st and on April 15th. So we will have conformed with all of the rules and regulations for providing the public with a notice of budget committee hearing. So that's not, and you're attaching it to the official agenda in here, so that it's been duly noticed that we comply with all budget notification requirements at this time. Are any questions? Anyone want to add anything? Al, you joined us tonight. Right, we have Albert Wilder with us tonight, came in and joined us. Are you gonna join us now and be back on?
I sent stuff in and I guess they rejected it or something.
Oh.
I'll have to ask for some help from somebody.
Okay, do you want me to,
Derek and Dave are on here. Maybe they can answer that.
yeah,
Dave says he can, I think.
No, I was just saying hi. What was the question? I can barely hear you.
Al Wilder applied for the position to reapply, and he said that they got rejected, and so he didn't know why.
I have no idea. I didn't know he got rejected. I
to,
can
I'd like
look-
to go on that point from personal experience. It's actually very difficult for any person wanting to be a board member. Like on our board or any other board, with the way that your program is set up at the county. Whoever is doing the programming needs to use somebody, a friend's computer or whatever, to find the application process themselves. And you're gonna discover that it's difficult to find the form, but the worst part is that when you fill out the application, and Al is agreeing with me, he's shaking his head on this, is that when you go to send it, it doesn't receive it. And it's been a consistent issue. It took me, when I reapplied last year, about 4 times to get through it. Part of it might be that Firefox is not the ideal browser to use. For some reason, anybody using Firefox has a real difficult time accessing the county server. I did mine through Chrome, and through Chrome, I finally got my information through. But as you know, for helping us out, and I think helping out all of these districts, we need a cleaner process of for people to apply for the position, so that it gets right to the secretary of the board without difficulty.
Derek wants to step in here.
Thank you. So I would just say, yeah, if you're having difficulty completing the application online, and I don't know why the application was rejected. I haven't seen anything come through with your name on it, sir. So I don't necessarily have an answer for you, but if you're having difficulty getting something through, or if you have questions, please contact Sandy or Haley in the office, and they'll be able to walk you through stuff, or maybe figure out why you're having difficulties. They're both amazing, and they'll be able to help you out.
A question of a procedure on this. Could Al just take print out his application and take it down to the office? Because this has been going on for 3 months, and we like to resolve it and have our board back to full board membership.
I think Dave wants to say something.
I was just going to add what you just said. And sometimes there are servers that just don't work well with our computer system. And I haven't heard that we have had any struggles receiving applications, but if that is the case, I would just encourage you, like the chair said, like Chair DeGroot said, get a hold of our staff and talk to them, or also just drop it off or put it in the mail and shoot one of us a text or an email, or call us on the phone and let us know it's coming, and we'll watch for it to make sure it gets routed appropriately. So don't ever feel like the computer's your only mechanism to the commissioners. Give us a call. We're always willing and able to visit with you and help you through those problems.
I think the commission, or the county commissioners, very much for the feedback on this. And this way, I think at this point, we should have enough information where he should be able to bring in his application and get the job done on that. Because we want our board back in full strength, and we would enjoy having Al back with us. So I wasn't aware that Al had been making all of these efforts on this. So thank you very much, because that's where we need help at.
They're giving thumbs up.
Okay, thank you. Let's see.
By the way, they can't see you, Dave. It's only on my computer. We didn't bring a projector in for this. So you're,
Okay,
you're
no
thumbing
Thumbs up is fine. That's recorded on the official machine here, so that will suffice. Okay, at this point, is there any other comments in their general business that need to be addressed by anyone? Board member or non-board member? Hearing none, let's go ahead and have a contractor's report by Ed, and let us know what's going on, Ed.
Ours is pretty short. We haven't done any larviciding yet. It's been, snow out there. We have a lot more water so far this year than we have the last couple of years. And so I have a feeling we're gonna have an interesting spring. So, which is fine. I mean, that's why we're here. But as soon as it starts warming up enough, larvicide will be putting out. I'm assuming probably the next week or two, with the way the weather's looking, unless it snows again. But yeah, we're ready for the season.
All right, in the contractor's report then, is there any other comments from members of the public, former board members, anyone? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn our meeting. The time is 7:04, and invite everyone to attend our next meeting to be held on.
I think the commissioners got to do their thing too, though.
Oh, yeah, they do. And fourth of Wednesday, April 20, what is it, 23rd, I think it is, at 6:30 at this place. And with this, I'll turn it back over to the Board of County Commissioners to close out their meeting.
Sorry about that. Got to get the unmute button. Thank you very much. And thank you again for giving us the opportunity to attend virtually. Our schedules, it really was helpful this go around. We'll definitely try to make it up in person next meeting. And with that, I will adjourn the county court commissioners portion of the meeting at 7:04.
And just let you guys know, they started doing these. They started doing this virtually like this in January, so anybody could get on and watch the meetings by going to the website. It's broadcast on both YouTube and Zoom, so somebody could just watch it without anybody knowing that we're there. And they could also, we have one visitor from up north on right now, but it's available for anybody that wants to get onto it.
Our goal is full transparency on that, and that's why the board is doing our meetings this way, fully recorded, 2 different ways, and fully accessible to the public. And I would hope that other county governments in general would do this kind of meeting, because it's worked out really well for us. And appreciate you being with us.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for the conversation.